Good evening, racing fans, and welcome to round 5 of ZFS Championship Season 6. Tonight we are here at the wonderful Road Atlanta circuit in the Red Bull X 2014 Junior. Gonna be gonna make for some very interesting racing indeed. As always, we're starting off with a 10-minute qualifier in around about 5 minutes' time. And then we're going to kick things off with a 30-lap race around here. So I have got a little intro bit that Andy cooked up for this round. And while that's playing, I might as well just let everyone know, those that those that aren't aware. One of the drivers in this league that we have seen race recently passed away on Friday from bowel cancer, Somerset Sarge. So we do have a we don't have a tribute lap tonight, but we should have a series coming in the near future that I'll make sure that I'm involved in. All right, let me just let KGN know that we're all ready to go. And with that, I might as well bring up the predictions for tonight as they get everything sorted out. So P1 is Evil Cat 76, followed by Mr. X Tino, the Legend 2503, Frowny 1, ZFS Steve, KGN 100, Wooly 69, The Hammer Games, KW 1990 GT, Kenobi, and No Neck Monster. How many drivers do we have tonight? We have 10 drivers and the 12 joining us tonight. Drivers you're going to be seeing on track at the moment are the Legend 2503, looking to make redemption from that mishap last round. No Neck Monster, Frowny One, looking to do some more domination as he has been showing as of recently. We've got Evil Cat 69, Steve, the man, the myth, the legend, KJN, of course. We've also got Wooly 69 coming back from that P2 in Simsa last night. KW 1990 GT, Mr. X Tino, Kenobi, and myself. So I probably it was ticking in and ticking out during that, so I probably read a couple of them twice. As we're waiting for them to get everything sorted, might as well go through standings while we're at it. So it's currently tied up front. Mr. Xtino and KJM level on points at the moment. Steve is 3 points behind in third. And then it's a 5-point gap to Evil Cat 76 in fourth. And another 6 points to Frowny. So the top five at what is this? Round 6 of the season. Only separated by round 6, round 5. Only separated by 20 points. And it's level, equal on points up front. Whoever finishes higher out of Tino and KGN is going to walk away tonight as the defending champion. And I just noticed it's 72 to Steve, not 3. My maths is a bit off. It's KW in 6th. Again, level with Frowny, 61 points. Wheelie 69 in 7th, a little bit lower than we would have expected him to be. Surely we're going to see some more classic wheelie results sooner rather than later. It's Kenobi in 8th. The Legend 2503 in 3rd. Not 3rd, 9th. I can't read my numbers. Again, he's missed 2 rounds though, the Legend. So to be able to be that high in the standings already goes to show what this man could pull off. If he just turns up to these races. Then it's a No Neck Monster in 10th, Idle 4 Gaming in 11th, and the Hammer Games in 12th. So, qualifying should be starting. Yes, qualifying is starting now. So I'll get all the overlays up before I forget. I have done tyres. Yes, I have. Brilliant. Depends if I can remember where my controller is. There it is. Right, I should probably unmute the game so you can actually hear everyone. There we go. No, I'd forget to do something. So, able to use the mediums or the hards tonight. And as always, the usual ZFS rules apply. The tyre that these drivers want to qualify on is the tyre that they're gonna start on. So it's about 1:10 a lap, I reckon. I've had a quick butchers at practice, only about 5 minutes, so I've got no idea who's quick and who is not in these. So let's have a butchers at the starting tyres that these drivers have chosen for qualifying. So on the hards we have KJN 100, Steve, the Legend, and Frowny 1, Tino, and what's No Neck Monster? Also No Neck Monster on the hards. The rest of the drivers, so Evil Cat, KJN, I believe Kenobi was on mediums, and who else? I don't think it was really. Yeah. So those are the tyres that everyone has opted for. We'll go on board with KJN, your championship leader at the moment, for a lap in this wonderful Red Bull X 2014 Junior around Road Atlanta. Very fast turn one, taking around about 100 miles an hour in these mid downforce cars. Quick dab of the brakes down into turn 3, and it's a bit too late on the brakes for KJN. That's going to cost him throughout this lap. He is going to still keep on pushing though, because he's got that gap ahead and in front. He's got a really nice bit of track at the moment, KJN. Got a nice gap up front and a nice gap behind, just his own little track, and that is what you want in qualifying. Ideally, you'd want to pick up a toe with slipstream, but I just find that leads to dirty air, and that I prefer it when you like this, where there's no one in front of you and no one behind you. It's just you, and you can set a lap just like you would in practice. This is the ideal situation, but I really like this view. X 2014 single-seater cockpit car. It's nice without the halo. I mean, the halo's good, but purely visibility-wise, it's just, we're gonna be in this camera a lot. I think if I was on track, I'd be using this camera as a primary, purely because of how beautiful it looks. So it's only a 1:26.4 for KJN that last lap, due to cooking it on the brakes. Currently on provisional pole is Evil Cat, but only about 5 drivers have set laps. Let's say that's 6. So we'll wait for all these drivers to set their laps before we have a look at the provisional grid. So Wooly, the last driver to set a lap, and it's going to be a very slow one, and he's got damage. Something must have happened to Wooly that lap. This has caused him to get damage and have to come in and pit. So it's Evil Cat 69 and Frowny 1 on the provisional front row at the moment. Frowny 1 is improving, but that 8 point, pretty much a 9/10 gap at front, that is absolutely massive in ZFS. Considering how quick these lads are, a 9/10 gap is massive, but we are only 4 minutes into a 10-minute qualifying. Anything could happen between now and the checkered flag. And I just remembered, Frowny's on the hards as well compared to Evil Cat on the medium. So yeah, that's another thing that I like about ZFS. What tyre you want to start on is the tyre that you have to qualify on. It just spices up the grid, and I love it. So what's this lap going to be for Frowny? It's a 1:23.2. He's brought that gap down, but not quite enough to match Evil Cat. What's it looking like further back? No Net Monsters just set a stunning lap. 1:23.7 puts himself ahead of Tino by 11 milliseconds. Further back, we've got Steve, a little lag spike there, nothing major. Further back, we've got Steve in 5th, the Legend in 6th, Kenobi in 7th, KGN in 8th. KW just came out of the pits, presumably to pit for damage or take a new set of tyres. Although can't really see where you'd want a new set, so presuming that was for damage, and that would explain why he's so far back in the grid in P9. Woolie's still yet to set a clean lap in that wonderful RAF livery. That looks wicked. Oh, to tell you someone who'd love that, Captain Mills is an air cadet. Is that I met him actually, because he used to be in the cadets. And there is Woolie69 going purple on those medium tyres. That is what we want to see from him. We'll go on board with him for the rest of this lap as we go onto the back straight. See, this is where a slipstream would be handy. But in that tricky infield section, especially the latter stage of Sector 1 here, you want to be like miles away from the next car because it's so windy. You've got to basically be perfect to not go flying off, especially in these cars. So going through the final corner now, it's a bit of sliding on the exit. Surely that's cost him through that sector. What time is it going to be though? It's going to be a 23.5, good enough for 4th position, but provisionally. And Tino has improved his lap up to a 23.2, challenging Evil Cat, bring that gap down to about 6/10 now, 18 milliseconds ahead of Frowny. The two hard runners up front, splitting Evil Cat and Woolie on the mediums. There was someone else on the mediums, right? Oh, Kenobi's got damage. He's coming in to pit that now. Yeah, Kenobi was on the mediums. Wasn't there? Yeah, and then KW. So 4 mediums, 6 hards. This car looks like an absolute rocket ship. I need to use this car more. Just looks wicked. As there was KJN hitting for presumably damage. Didn't catch what he was in the pits for. So further up front, Evil Cat has set a better lap, a 22.3. He's extended that gap up to another one of the RAF liveries I've noticed. Need to get better at having a butchers at the liveries, because so much time and effort goes into the liveries and they all look absolutely incredible. I want every hour that you put into a livery, it needs to be recognised. As here is Evil Cat rounding out the final corner. He's purple again, 8 minutes a lap, so this is going to be his penultimate lap. He's starting at 22.0. Can he get into the 119s? Woolie69 with this banging lap as well, 22.5, brings that gap up front down, and Woolie is purple. Are we about to see a fight for pole position? Surely we are in the latter stages of this 10-minute qualifier. To round out onto the back straight, it's I do not know what the teams are in ZFS. It's one of them that I need to have like a cheat sheet made or something. These two are clearly teammates, but I just don't know what the bloody team is. And it seems to be Evil Cat is picking up most of his time in Sector 2. So he's doing something throughout that, like, handle of the chicken drumstick. We'll see if there's someone. Yeah, Frowny's about to go through it now. Wheel to wheel with the Legend. Who's going to yield? None of them. Yeah, this bit, if you squint at the track map, it just looks like a chicken nugget. And I can't, not chicken nugget, chicken drumstick. I can't see anything else other than a chicken drumstick when I look at Road Atlanta. So, yeah, that's the bone. We're into the meat now, not nosh nosh. And Evil Cat is sat at the final sector, just waiting to get a better time over the line. Yep, the checker flag about to fall. Oh no, he's just waiting for the checker flag to fall, so he doesn't have to set another lap. That's valid. So, checkered flag has fallen. Evil Cat 69 is the first over the line. He's provisionally pole at the moment. Wooly 69, what can he do to challenge his teammate for that pole position spot? KW have just noticed has put his car all the way up to third now, shuffling up the grid more. And it's not going to be good enough for Wooly this lap. 2.5 seconds red. What about KW? What can he do about this? We'll have a look at his timing over the sector line as we go into the braking zone. No, the sector line's here. Nowhere near the braking zone. Yeah. So, KW is up at the moment, set to overtake Wooly and get onto the front row. If he can keep it clean through this final chicane, which he has seemed to have done. It's the final corner now. Is it good enough for second position for KW? What's the time going to be over the board? It's going to be a 22.6. He has improved massively, but it's not quite good enough for second. Alright, let's have a butchers at the grid now. So, it's Evil Cat 69 on pole position. Let me just get rid of all this so you can actually see things. Bosh. Right, so Evil Cat 69 on pole position, followed by Wooly 69. It's a 69-1-2 front row lockout. And it's KW 1990 GT rounding out the podium positions, followed by Mr. X Tino. Frowny1 and ZFS Steve make up the second row. And then it's No Net Monster and Kenobi 7th and 8th, respectively. Then the final row of the grid is the Legend 2503 and your defending champion 1 millisecond behind in dead last. Look at that. This is ZFS at its finest. Back row, 1 millisecond separating the two. 24.222, 24.223. That is a sign for the action that we are going to see tonight. Now, don't go anywhere. We've got about 45 minutes of action to go. We'll be finished around about 10 o'clock if we can get things kicking off shortly. I'm going to make sure that all this is alright. Grab this. Do we have anyone in chat? No one's said anything yet, but I'm presuming there's a couple of you in there. And I've just noticed for the race, they have to use all 3 compounds. So I was initially wrong on the fact that it's hards and mediums, just presuming that's what it would be. And that's what they were using in qualifying. And the race is about to begin. Start your engines. That was so cringe. Right, grid start. Oh my god. What is going on? Alright, we'll have a look at Evil Cat on pole. It is 5 lights out and away we go for round 5 of ZFS Championship Season 6. Evil Cat gets a wicked run off the line, followed by his teammate in second position. No changes so far, but there is a bit of action going out up front as that is Frowny1 on the inside of Steve. Kenobi's not too far back. Let's have a look at back here. Look, what is that? 2-3 wide further back there. So we're going up into the leg of the drumstick. It's still no changes rather than Tino making that move. Actually, I believe there wasn't many changes. There is Legend looking up the inside of No Net Monster. Has he made the move stick? Yes, he has. The Dutchman up to 8th position already on lap 1. KJN still trundling back in 10th. How's Tino doing at this moment in time? Tino would inherit the World Championship off of KJN if the checkered flag was to fall now, but the checkered flag is not falling anytime soon, ladies and gents. we've got 40 minutes of wheel-to-wheel action. Woo! Surely, No Name Monster was going off there, manages to save it, and comes back on the attack on the Legend. They're going to be wheel-to-wheel going through the final corner. Very tricky place. What was that? That's the Legend. He's gone off. He's hit the wall. Is it? No, he's gone into the pits. Alright, I got scared there for a second because it just showed me the wall. They've all gone into the pits. So these hard runners, perhaps they've used that hard for one lap. Because the tyre wear, I noticed, you're not going to notice that. So perhaps it's just to truck it out on the mediums for as long as possible. Or perhaps the softs, because I did notice all 3 tyres could be used. So, yes, they are all going on the mediums as of now. Don't know why it was saying the softs could be used, because otherwise they must have been using it in qualifying. It must only be medium hards, or unless they've got some rule I don't know about. So, Tino, KGN, Steve, and the Legend all pitting. And KGN has jumped the ball in the pits somehow. The Legend's found his way all the way back in 10th. What's it looking like up front? Evil Cat 69 is slowly but surely pulling away from his teammate Woody. That gap around 8 tenths now. KJN further back in 3rd, 6 tenths separating these. So the podium just seeming to drive away from us now, as that was KW setting the fastest lap of this race at 23.5, as that is Frowny 1 coming into the pits, getting onto the medium compound tyre, presumably. No, Monster's found his way in 5th. Interesting to see which teams opt for that strategy of just running the medium, or if any of them stay on the hards, do it like sort of 50-50. So, where do we have a look? There's a nice battle going on over here, it seems. No. Closest drivers on track are actually the battle for P2 at the moment between KW and Woody. Let's go on board with KW, because why not? Get a look at this wonderful camera angle that we've got here. Fastest man on track. He's purple again by 4 tenths. And you can play this sort of mental game with the person in front of you if you're setting that fastest lap of the race, because if you've got the fastest driver on track behind you, it sort of like plays in your head a bit, as Evil Cat does take away that fastest lap from KW, pulling away from the rest of the grid. 1.3 seconds clear from Wooly 69. And that gap roughly the same to Wooly and KW. So, Tino and Frowny are definitely a lot more closer. So let's go on board with Tino. We know he loves a proper send, Tino. You never see him going for, like, easy overtakes. He always sends it. And that's what I love about him, because he sends it and he's clean while he does it. It's just absolutely wicked to watch this man. As there was Frowny making a mistake, cooking it on the brakes, and this is what I'm talking about. He's going to go too wide, or no, stays back a little bit, but bumper to bumper through that twisty section of Sector 1. That's what a tiny mistake on the brakes, just braking slightly too late with these drivers behind you, and they're already thinking about taking that position off your hands. Let's go into this shot. So it's 1 and 2 in the championship at the moment. KGN and Tino, so 7 and 8. That's where KGN is, and that's where Tino is. So, will this undercut strategy work for these drivers, or will staying on the mediums from the start work? Only time can tell. We'll find out around about lap 20, 25 odd, I reckon. So, perhaps, yeah, it's looking like fuel is going to be a bigger burden than tyres in this race. They have tyre decals on them. like, is that like a tyre cover over them? And they've put tied it. Oh my god, it is. That is wicked. That is the greatest idea I've ever seen. So I'll say, talking about Tino going for centres, and Kruentis heard that, and he's just gone on, stepped on the throttle, foot to the floor, sends it off into the distance. That gap now to 8 tenths off, when it was about 2 tenths when we came on board. These two seem quite evenly paced. What's it looking like further back? We've got Steve and KGN. Who do we want? No. Steve has dropped off as well. And then the Legend in 10th. The half-second penalty. So easy to do at this track. And this must be the most punishing, apart from Daytona, this is one of the most punishing penalty zones on the track. So he was about 2 seconds behind when he goes into the penalty zone. Half-second penalty, and you lose about a second off the person in front. So, not good. Oh, we got about P2 on our hands. I don't know where to look because there's action everywhere. KW on the rear of Woolley is going to look up the inside. Woolley later on the brakes manages to defend the position. But what is KW going to do about it? He's going to have that slipstream going onto this back straight. And surely he's just going to whiz past Woolley, who's going to be a sitting duck in this situation. These cars are built for slipstream overtakes. And there is Woolley covers the inside for the final chicane. It's going to be a matter of who is later on the brakes to take this position. KW is going to have a butchers round the outside. And he's made it work. KW 1990 GT up into second position of this race. What is Woolley going to do about that to come back? Is he going to be looking for a move into turn 1? He's close enough to think about it. He's going to be thinking, alright, I'm having that back for myself. KW 1990 just a bit later on the brakes into turn 1. Manages to keep the position off Woolley's hands. And it's looking like it's just starting to steady out, and KW is going to stay ahead. So, I think I've got time to have a butchers out of the replay, but anything can happen. Alright, okay, 5 tenths. We should have enough time to have a look at this replay. So, I'm going to have to go a bit further back and also go onto the right car. So, carries that speed in round the outside, later on the brakes. Space is given. Textbook, wonderful wheel-to-wheel racing between these two. But they're back on the back straight, and Woolley's taken the inside. KW's foolishly left that gap open for Woolley, and surely he's going to get back into first position. Not first, second, and show KW, alright, you can do that, but also can I. Back into P2, thank you very much, says Woolley. All this fighting has allowed Evil Cat to just extend his lead up to 2.5 seconds. He's going to be loving this scrapping back here, just letting him sail off into the distance. How's it looking further back? I don't really want to look away from this as KW's back on Woolley's rear end, looking to make another move. I'll have a butchers further back. It's a large gap, 6 seconds to Kenobi in 4th. Then we have the lot that pits off the hard to the medium tyres. Frowny leads this lot, followed by Tino, KJN, Steve, the Legend, and No Neck Monster. So definitely where we should be looking is this battle for P2 right now. Said I was looking forward to this on the wonderful bank holiday Monday. Hope you're all having a splendid one for yourselves. I've done a grand total of absolutely nothing today. Just sat in my bed, watching YouTube. That's how it should be done. But I broke up for May half term, so I can probably start revising for my A-level mocks that's coming up. Instead of doing literally anything other than that, but gym was closed today because it's bank holiday, so of course I had to do nothing. Gym was closed. No, every single school holiday, I do absolutely nothing, and I hate it afterwards. So I'm gonna actually get active. I know I've said that for the past like 27 holidays in a row, but the build is coming on. We are actually getting the summer bod this year, boys. My arms are coming on wicked, my legs are seeing it, I'm seeing it in my stomach. The summer bod, the beach bod, Kruentis is going to be getting all the girls at the year 6 disco. Right, side tangent off. What's this gap between P2 and P3 now? 5 tenths, but KW is purple yet again. They're catching, they've stopped fighting and they're working together now. And they're reeling in Evil Cat slowly but surely. That gap's come down by over a second now for over the last couple laps. It's a 22-2 for Wooly, but that's quickly broken by KW with a 22-1. So these two giving it their all on track right now in order to reel in Evil Cat. But what happened there to Wooly? He's lost about a second in one corner. Is KW going to be able to capitalize on this? Surely he is. Going down the run into the chicken drumstick hand. I'm just going to call it this name. These two right hand corners, this is clearly the bone of the chicken leg. They've probably got better names than that, but that's what they're getting called. Woo! Sure, how did they not make contact there? How on earth did they not make contact there? Let's go back on board with KW. Is he going to do that move that he's done so many times on Wooly before? He's going to look up the inside. It's going to be a send. Wooly's later on the brakes. Manages to defend the position. But they're still bumper to bumper going down the run into turn 1. We can go on board with Wooly, and we can still see you can see KW in the rear view mirror there. Love that feature. 3 tenths behind Wooly. The battle for P2 is heating up now. I think we've got time. Let's just see if I can set this up so we can have a butchers. How close these two were coming out of here. So you can't pause. You cannot pause replays. Never mind. That was never gonna work. I thought you could just casually pause this like it was a race replay, but no. You're watching this live. You absolute dingleberry. Both of these still purple after that mishap from Wooly in turn 3, I believe it is. They're back to setting personal best sectors, but I believe Evil Cat just slightly has the edge of them. No, he doesn't. He's lost a second to them again. Evil Cat is on personal best still. It's 22-8 for Evil Cat. Wooly 69 sets a 22-128. Fastest lap of the race so far. KW 3 tenths behind. It's all kicking off up front right now. What's it looking like further back? We've still got Kenobi here. His own little bit of the track. So is Frowny One. He's got Tino behind, but nothing too close to worry about. What are the time differences looking like between these? So 22-1, 23-0. So Tino definitely catching slowly but surely. KGN's 4 seconds behind in his own little bit of the track. And then it's Steve in P8. Legends in P9 and No Neck Monster in P10. So let's go on board with Tino actually for a little change of scenery. Still have no. Let's not do that because KW sends it on Wooly. Was that a penalty? Was that a penalty? Because he was far ahead through there. Did Wooly have a penalty there? Wooly had a penalty. We go away for 3 seconds and Wooly picks up a penalty. And that allows KW to just breeze past like he's not even there. Can I remember how to come out of this? Yes, I can. But he's still behind, still in that rearview mirror of KW. Slowly but surely, he's picking that gap back up. Let's flick back to this, that gap's going up. Alright, we're watching this. This is far more entertaining. Wooly is down by a lot this lap. Perhaps messing up turn 3 again, just going a little bit too late on the brakes. So easy to do in these cars. Is KW catching up to the lead? KW is pulling massively off Wooly here. That gap down to 1.6. Surely he must be going purple now. Yes, he is. He's got rid of Wooly. And he is just sending it out front. We're about to have a 21 as a race lap. And look at them tyres for KW. He's not struggling with tyre deck at all. But he is with fuel. Are we going to see a pit stop on lap 15 to do a stint on the hards? Or is he going to do a 1 lap stint on the hards at the end? Or are we going to see some softs? Literally anything could happen, and we are into the 21s, ladies and gentlemen. KW 1990 setting a 121.902. That last lap, fastest lap of the race by a long shot that we've seen so far. So yeah, he's got rid of Wooly and he's dropped him, and now his target is Evil Cat up front, and he's still improving on that lap. Oh, I say that, Brownie 1 has set a 121.7 as he's trying to shake off Tino. Beating that record by KW instantly. What's Frowny saying? Frowny's setting a 21.8. These two are as quick, if not quicker, than the leading pack. So when these inevitably pit, but these will have to pit as well. But they have also done their hard stint already. Yeah, I believe we're going to see a 15-lap stint on the mediums, a 14-lap stint on the mediums, and then a 1-lap stint on the hards for these lot. So, if my theory is correct, this is going to be their in-lap. But yeah, look, yeah, there's Wooly coming in now at exactly the halfway point to take presumably another set of mediums to run that for a full stint. Nope, he's not fueled by much, so he's taking his hards. If my theory is correct, he's going to be on hard compound tyres. And he's going to do a 1-lap stint, just get that lap done with, and then go back onto the superior medium tyres. Where's he going? Yes, he's on the hard. Look at me, I'm learning strategies. I'm so smart. He's going to come out right in front of KJN, who has no fuel whatsoever. Hopefully he doesn't run out of fuel this lap. That'd be a bit embarrassing. He's surely got enough to make the lap. What's it looking like up from 5 tenths separating the leading two? They're both low on fuel. Are we going to see a pass in the pits made here? It's their wheel to wheel. Surely they've not got fuel to make another lap. KW comes into the pits, not without crossing that line. That's going to be a 3-second penalty, surely. Making some bumps with the barriers. Evil Cat stays out, and he's got a nice, comfortable lead. But he is going to have to come in at the end of this lap. Brownie 1 inherits 3rd position. So this is now going to be the battle for 2nd. if any of these don't come in, which they don't, presumably, because they came in on lap 1. So what's KW going to do? KW is going to do the exact same. So yeah, all these drivers just using them hards for 1 lap, as small as possible, and he's going to come out right in the middle of this fight for P2 between Frowny and Sino on the inferior hard compound tyre. Is he going to be able to keep up with what is essentially the fastest drivers on track at the moment? It's going to be close. 3 tenths between Tino and KW. Is Tino going to look for a move? I mean, they're both going to go into the pits anytime soon. This is perfect, because this means we're going to essentially have a 4-way fight for the lead between these lads. And I am fully in for that. So Tino is gaining on KW with that slipstream. He's going to look up inside, but he's going to just feather the throttle there, not commit to a move, because he knows they're all going into the pit lane at the end of this lap to get on to another run for the mediums. So it seems you can actually cut that line a lot more than I thought you would, and it's Tino makes contact with the barriers there. That slows him down, breaks that gap up to KW, up to 1.3 seconds now. Evil Cat is out for his hard stint, and he's got a nice clear bit of track to get this stint done with. And he's played that tremendously as the rest of the grid comes into the pits to do their relative stops. And it's 30 seconds to Kenobi, who seems to taking a bit more fuel. Is he? Yeah, he pit for the hards on lap 15. So we're actually seeing someone not opt for just running the hards for 1 lap. And yes, there are softs there. So the drivers do have to run softs as well. And the tyre wear isn't that bad. So yeah, it must have been that you just couldn't qualify on the softs. Otherwise, I thought everyone would be on the softs. So this is their final stint of the race. They're going to finish this race on these soft compound tyres. Perhaps the tyre deck isn't as bad as I initially thought. So Evil Cat 69 still in the lead, and he doesn't pit off the hard. Another one holding these hards for a bit longer than the rest of the grid. So KW is in 3rd position. Essentially leading this fight for P3 at the moment. Got a 1 second gap to Frowny behind him, and 2.5 seconds to Tino, and that's just coming down to the amount of fuel these drivers have taken, I'm presuming. Yeah, KW's taking slightly less fuel than these, as there is Kenobi coming into the pits, and oh my words, he's got the Nightcore livery. I don't know why, but I'm seeing an anime girl there, and I'm presuming that's not... Nope, that is definitely an anime girl. Right, the Virginity Mobile as it runs down the pit lane here. After getting rid of those hard compounds, presumably going onto his soft stint. Yeah, there's the soft. Wicked, he comes out in 9th. So this has escalated this to a battle for P2, as they have all just spread out. But presuming that'll all change when Evil Cat comes in at the end of this lap. Look at how little fuel he's got. He has done this stint to its absolute maximum, had the car as light as possible for that hard run. 1% fuel as he comes in to take the soft compound tyres. So where is he going to come out in this fight? Is he going to still be as the race leader? Or will I have KW 1990 have inherited that title off him? If he wants to stay ahead, he's going to have to take a bit less fuel than everyone, and which he has. He's only fueled to 76% compared to the usual 100. Where is KW? KW rounds out onto the start-finish straight, passes Evil Cat in the pits, who drops down to 4th position, 3rd position, no, 4th. Comes out in 4th, right behind Tino. 7 cents separating these two drivers as they come out of the pits. So, Evil Cat's got a bit of work to do now. He's led every lap of this race, I believe. Now he's found himself in 4th position, having to fight through 3 incredibly quick drivers. What this does mean is KW1990 GT is now your race leader with a comfortable 1.5 second gap to Frowny, Tino, and Evil Cat. Where's Wooly69 in all of this? Wooly is in 7th after taking the latest stop, stuck behind Steve, who has to serve a half-second penalty. Bye-bye, Steve. Does he? Yep, there's the penalty line. I do not know this track at all. All I know is the penalty line is harsh. So that promotes Wheelie69 to 6th position. Very nice. With a 1.7 second gap to KJN there. To get into the top 5 as we start lap 20 of 30. How on earth are we already at 2/3 race distance? I have no idea. It's the thing about these ZFS lads. They just make time. Time isn't real when you're watching ZFS. You blink and half the race is gone. Unlike some of the leagues, but I won't talk about that. So the gaps up front just seeming to spread out a bit. KW still with the fastest lap of the race on lap 14, but this is going to be, so let's say, heating up these soft compound tyres. They're at full grip, and there he is, as presumed, going purple. So what are the times going to look like for these front runners on the softs? I have noticed that Frowny was gaining on KW quite a bit there, but that gap has came back up. So it's a 21.6 for KW, not quite the leap in time difference that I would have thought would have happened when compared to soft versus mediums. So it seems to be just a couple tenths separating the two tyres when compared to a lot larger difference with the hard compound tyre. So, further back, do we have any battles? Yes, we do. We have a battle for P7 here. Steve versus the Legend. Did not expect the Legend to be this far back, considering some of his past performances. As he is just on the tail of Steve there. He's not on the greatest of laps there. Steve has pulled away from him ever so slightly. Got that gap to about 1.2 seconds. But what can the Legend do about that here? Oh my god. It's GT7 Sky again. I don't know what it is. But I'm turning into Andy. There's like a 4-way battle for the lead, and I'm just commentating on like the bloody trees and the sky. I truly am Andy's apprentice, because I'm just turning into him every stream. I get worse and worse as it goes on. Alright, who do we watch, chat? Who do we watch? 8 laps to go. Well, 9 if you include this one. Who are your closest drivers? Because they do just seem to be spreading out a bit. Probably Evil Cat. Yeah, I'm going to watch Evil Cat. As he's got Tino in front of him as we go into double right-hander. Very fast little corner there. onto the back straight, not quite in slipstream range. You want to be around 7 odd tenths behind the person in front of you before you start seeing a slipstream. He is improving, Evil Cat, 121 seconds, so it's only a tenth off what KW's setting, but oof, massive snap of oversteer there on the exit. Tino, who's been absolutely flying this lap, has he set the fastest lap? No, he hasn't, but Frowney has a 21.502. He's trying to catch KW, but he's only gaining around about a couple tenths a lap. It is doable. If he carries on at this rate, he will catch KW by the end of this race. Tino in P3, just pulling away from Evil Cat there. And that was an absolutely wicked Sector 1, and he's gone purple. Mr. X Tino has gone purple. If the check flag was to fall right now, of course, Tino would inherit the championship lead, would he? Who's in third? I believe it's Steve in third. Yes, it is Steve in third, and he's only the really... no, yeah, it's definitely KJN versus Tino for the title at the moment. They're the ones that are level on points. They're the ones that we need to look at. So it would be Tino taking the championship lead after the end of this race. If the check flag was to fall as it is now, and he has gained he's gained loads of time on Evil Cat. Evil Cat has been dropped on this lap. Did something happen, or is this just a skill issue? We'll have a look after the timing line. 22.6, not quite the time he would have wanted. Tino set a 21.4 that lap, but the fastest lap of the race goes to Wooly69 in 5th, who has managed to get past KJN. We missed that. He just set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:21.121. Now, anyone with OCD will absolutely love that time. I'm going to take a screenshot of that, purely because that is just symmetrical perfection, and that echoes the perfection that Wooly is doing in this car. Not only is he setting these ridiculously quick times, but he's doing it consistently, and at the rate that Evil Cat is dropping off at the moment, as he is still getting dropped by that pack in front. Could we see Wooly69 challenging Evil Cat again to take P4 off his hands? So it's still KW who leads 1.6 seconds to Frowney, with 1.2 seconds to Tino. So they've spread out ever so slightly, just to the point where they're not in slipstream range of each other. So we can probably watch Wooly and KJN. Let's go on board with the man that is technically still your championship leader, but it's really Tino. If we're going off current points, it is, but live points, it's Tino. We'll go on board KJN, lobby host, man the myth, as we see Wooly just drop off into the distance, but still, look at the times that KJN's setting in 6th. Fastest laps, if we compare them for all the drivers, 21.6, 21.5, 21.4, 21.7, 21.1, 21.6, 22.0, and 22.1. 22.1. So yeah, the entire grid, bar No Net Monster, but oh, this is a battle, Kenobi and No Net Monster go to wheel, and I'm just looking at the fastest times and don't even clock that the battle for last place is 2 drivers wheel to wheel. So hopefully, a replay's caught that, but Kenobi is still on the rear end of No Net Monster going into the final braking zone. Is No Net Monster's going to cover the inside, just squeeze Kenobi as far to the outside as possible. Wonderful defending driving from both drivers. Maybe not quite as much room as Kenobi would have wanted, but he's still going to deal with what he's got, but go for the gap anyway. Let's see if we've picked up that move earlier on. Yes, we have. Wheel to wheel going through the drumstick. And it's Kenobi who's just slightly earlier on the brakes, and No Neck Monster sweeps it round the outside. Let's have a better look at that from No Neck Monster's POV. Just late on the brakes, swoops it around the outside of Kenobi. Wicked driving from him there. As he is just defending Kenobi there, slowly but surely. 4/10 separating them. Is Kenobi gonna have enough room to go for that move again? So he's 4/10 behind, but look at the power of that slipstream effect in these cars. It might be close enough to think about it. He might not. It's going to be Ascend. He's going to look up the inside anyway. Late on the brakes. Has he made it stick? No, it's a bit too late on the brakes. Slight contact made with No Neck. Nothing major. Position is regressed. And they're going to go into the run for turn 1 to try it again. Bit too much of a send from Kenobi, but I'm not complaining. It's entertaining, and that is all I care about. So we go into the tricky Sector 1 bit. You don't really want to be following someone like this because you get that dirty air and you just understeer city. What's it looking like further up front? We've not really got any battles like this, do we? Actually, no, we do. We have the Legend versus, What? Whoa! No Neck Monster hits the barrier! There, what happened? I saw him trundling down the order. So we're going through, this corner here. Does he just pick up the curb? Yes, he does. On the curb. Loses the front end, the back end. So easy to do. And slams into the wall. And that's going to be an early end to No Neck Monster's race. Such a shame to see that happen. And he's picked up that heavy damage. He's going to have to pit to repair that. So what's it looking like between Legend and Steve? They're wheel to wheel going through the final corner. Are we going to see a move into turn 1? It's personal bests for both drivers. Legend looks up the inside of turn 1. Not quite late enough onto the brakes. Doesn't quite make it stick. But he lets Steve know that he's looking up his inside. Or inside. Yep, further ahead. I've noticed Evil Cat has got past Frowny, who has got damage. Something has happened to Frowny. Can we pick this up? Yes, we can. What's happened to Frowny in P3? Is it going to be a carbon copy of what happened to No Neck? Yes, it is. Loses the front, loses the back end at the exact same point of the track, and picks up damage for Frowny 1, who's going to lose the position to Wooly 69 as well. Promotes Wooly into the top 4, who has got into the 120s in this race. Absolutely flying on these last couple laps. Heartbreak for Frowny. Is he going to pit, or is he going to stay out for the next couple laps and just pain through it? He's going to truck through the pain. Maybe try and salvage perhaps a P6 or P7. As the Legend, I've just noticed, has got past Steve in that time. They're wheel to wheel going through the final corner. I'll set a replay marker so we can have a butchers at that overtake in a bit, but not right now, as Steve is on his inside. He's going to send it into turn 1. Do what the Legend wasn't able to, who was too scared to do, and gets back up into 7th position. It's an old switcheroo between these two drivers. Absolutely textbook. Incredible racing from these two on this final, this penultimate lap. Should be able to have a look at that previous overtake that we missed. So Steve on the inside, the Legend on the outside. Later on the brakes, manages to swoop it around Steve's inside. Little bit of contact there. I would have given position back, but they're wheel to wheel now, and then Steve sends it later on. Little bit of bump draft there as well, as the Legend is caught up to Steve on the back straight with that slipstream effect. KJ ends up front as well. He could get into this. The Legend is ahead going into the braking zone. There was a little tap there, was there, from Steve in the rear going into the braking zone, but that was there a little tap there as we're going on to the final lap now. Just going a little bit too late. Tap. Has either of them received damage? No, they haven't. Lucky to walk away from that. Oh, car turns. Not talking like it's a actual crash. And this has evolved into a three-way battle. Can the Legend get into P6? And ooh, the Legend's done the same thing that many have. Lost the rear in that. No, that's the wrong bloody button. Lost the rear in that left-hand corner and sustained damage from it. That's the third driver that we've seen make that exact same mistake. Little twitch there. Loses the bracket. These dirty tyres. Loses that rear end. Slides through and hits the wall on the last lap for the Legend. Over the line. KW1990 takes the line first and wins here in Road Atlanta. Tino follows him in second. Evil Cat rounds out the podium. Wooly comes home to bring home P4. Frowny 1 is about to cross the line and take P5. KJN. Steve makes a move on KJN on the last lap, who has picked up damage. Can we pick this up? What happened to KJN there? Okay, he's already got damage here. Must have hit a wall earlier. That's why we were catching up to him. And then how did he get damage from behind? Was it Steve made contact with him, who picked up damage as well. So something must have happened to that rear couple. See if I can pick something more up. So he's already got no rip. Alright, that was an absolutely wicked race, as it always is for these lot. I'll see you all next week. Rest in peace, Somerset. I'll keep everyone informed on what they plan to do for tribute for him. From my knowledge, they are going to do a series, and I'll make sure that I can commentate it. Do whatever it takes to commentate that. But we'll see you all in round 6 on Monday, same time last week here on Black Flag Racing TV. But until then, it's going to be me signing out for the night. Goodbye.